Welcome to your daily focus, November 19th, 2021. My name is Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Thank you. Thank you truly for all of the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. I send it right back to you. You guys absolutely rock. We have the lunar eclipse. We'll talk about that. First, the numerology. We have the 19. The 19 energy is the sun. It's the I am. It's our purpose. It's our destiny. It's our path forward. It's the understanding of where we need to go now because of our past triumphs, our past successes, our past learning experiences has led us to this moment, led us to this time. 1 plus 0 is a 10 energy. That's the wheel energy, moving us forward into a new season, a new energy, usually a lighter energy. We'll get to that. 1 plus 0 is a 1, the I am. It's making that statement. I've been saying it for several days now. It's making that statement of I am. Look yourself in the eye in the mirror and say, I am. Use your name. And start telling yourself great things about who you are. Start highlighting it. Start acknowledging it. Your strength, your courage, your faith, your understanding, your consideration, your talents, your abilities, your worth, your belief in yourself, your confidence, your courage, your love, your empathy, your compassion. I am. If we do the numerology of the day, it is a 17. The 17 energy. I have a Dylan hair or something here. It's driving me nuts. Oh, that's way too many cards, so we're not going to go there. So we'll just put those guys right back in, like 4 cards. 17, making the impossible possible. Understanding, a clarity comes in, an epiphany, an understanding. In some way, it seeks you, it finds you, it enlightens you. It gives you the knowledge that you can go forward in a way that you didn't expect you could before. So look for those little miracles to happen in your life on a 17 energy day. 1 plus 7 is an 8. So we need to embrace our courage, our strength. We need to take a little bit of a risk on ourselves. We can't procrastinate forever. No decision is a decision, and usually not a wise one. So you write the narrative. Also with the 8 energy, it is about walking with integrity. Your word is your honor, your bond. People can trust you with their secrets, with knowledge, with their possessions, with their friends. It's about loving unconditionally without bias. Well, that's a hard one. I think it's just natural to be a hard one, to love unconditionally, to not judge, to not measure up to that person and where you stand and different things. Maybe they're really good at knowing the football scores and whatnot, and you don't even know the teams, and so there's a really uneven balance there, but it works for you because they talk and then you just go up to the lottery place and you place a $2 bet on it and you make money just because they couldn't stop talking about this player and how they're coming out and they're going to rock that field. So, oh my goodness, look at this. Look at what flies out too. The 8 of Swords comes out, the perceptions, the understandings, the clarity, the aha moment, the epiphany. When you rip off that blindfold and realize you weren't trapped in the first place, the hurdle was not actually there. You thought it was there, and maybe it was there, but in some way you can go around it, or it just dissipates. You can go over it, or it's just gone. Okay, Sun is in Scorpio and the Moon is in Taurus, and that is our lunar eclipse. Our full moon lunar eclipse at 27 degrees. 27, that's a very fertile energy. A lot of things that you start on a 27 kind of energy day, and I don't really suggest you starting anything on this day because it is a lunar eclipse, but it moves us It moves us forward towards success. Now, we must use moderation. We must stay grounded. So we just don't, we hear of something and we just go and instead of putting that $2 little fun bet on that little tip you overheard, putting in your life savings or everything you've worked for in your life and just, throwing it all in on a gamble, on a high risk, hoping to triple, quadruple your money instantly. And those kinds of things definitely will not work under this energy. And remember, this moon cycle, this eclipse cycle actually, will last until I think 2022, until April 2022, and then it goes on to 2023, I think, the energy. So we are really, when we have that 10 energy in our numerology today, doesn't that speak volumes to a new energy, a new season that we are moving into? Our focus will change from one direction to another. Our attention, our wants, our needs, our desires, our values sometimes, and definitely our perceptions. Now, every astrologer is talking about this star, I think it is, called Algol, if I'm not mistaken. That is right aligned with this, and I guess this is like the worst, most destructive star energy power in the galaxy, in the universe. It brings in misfortune, brings in violence, and it could do that, absolutely. But there's also a lot of other things happening in the sky too that's going to help us move forward in the right direction. Oh, and I didn't even mention when I was doing that, telling you about the moon being in Taurus, only in the wee hours. By the time most of us get up for the day, the moon will have moved into Gemini. So it happens in the wee hours of the morning, and then we wake up into a Gemini moon, actually, but with all the energy of that Taurus lunar eclipse. So we will feel restless. We're going to be feeling different energies, and our bodies aren't going to be able to translate it as well. So take a deep breath, because I think we're going to be very sensitive to all the powers, because it is such a strong lunar eclipse. So we have to stay honest. We have to have that sense of integrity. We also need to apply a sense of purpose, a sense of focus, that we're taking the proper steps, that we're moving in the right direction, that we know it is one step at a time, that we are in it for the long haul. That time is not the factor, but the accomplishments, the small accomplishments along the way. And staying grounding is not a very fictional. In fact, Taurus is a very earth energy. So it's about our taste, our sight, our hearing. What is the music you want to be surrounded with in order to feel invigorated, passionate, at ease, sensual, creative, imaginative, sleepy? What foods remind you of certain memories, and what memories are you making with certain foods? The smell of a rose, the smell of a perfume, a smell of brings back memories. I worked with a girl once, and she loved it when the mechanics used to come in at the end of their day to make their purchases, because they all smelled like gasoline and stuff. She just loved it. She just loved that smell because it reminded her of her father, I think, and racing days and going with her father who had passed. So it brought back beautiful memories to her. So, what makes you feel happy, joyous? A sense of balance, a sense of safety, a sense of security, a sense of well-being. What are those things that you need to bring into your life? And what things do not make you feel that way, that you have to move past? Because remember, full moon energy is about closure. It's about completion. And yet we're starting a brand new energy. So it's moving forward in new ways, but ways that benefit you. And so we can really grow. We can grow within our successes. We can grow spiritually. We can grow mentally, physically. And physically, I mean, you better your health or you worsen your health. We have free will. Do what you must, but it's acknowledging it. It's being aware of it. That's so potent. Now, I think the moon and Jupiter are in a little bit of a tiff. So we can either become very hopeful, enthusiastic by our movements, by our actions, by our words, by our thoughts, or we could get a little careless. We could get a little excessive. Then we get a little irresponsible and we get a little off course. So it's about being grounded. It's about thinking it through. You can use that energy, even though they're bickering in the sky, it's still the moon, that strong lunar eclipse energy with Jupiter about abundance and growth, prosperity, successes. And I think the moon is also getting along with Pluto. So we're more sensitive to things. We're more aware. That's our primal warrior coming out in us. It's about death and rebirth. It's about right and wrong. It's about passion and will and desire and determination. And so that's triggered in us in order to really step into. So we have to use moderation. We really have to think about our movements. But we can, if we think it through, start to plan to make some incredible strides in our world. It's about knowing ourselves. It's about knowing what ticks. It's that Taurus energy of saying what makes you feel alive, useful, purposeful. What makes you feel passionate, happy, joyful. And the more you know that, the more you are enlightened to the next step, the next step in your path. So it's about being truthful to yourself, honoring yourself, and using your strength and your courage in order to take a step forward. Believing in yourself, taking a risk, but an educated risk. Staying grounded. Okay, let's see what the cards have to say. Oh, we didn't look. Let's look. What is it? The Magician appears. Asking your wish will be granted. So please do not be negative right now, because what you wish for is what you'll get. Also, think a little bit about what you truly want to bring into your life, because then you will understand what needs to go in your life. And that's the purpose of a full moon. But this one has like super energies attached to it. So you really want to think it through. What am I taking forward with me that no longer belongs in my life? We have the King of Swords. Oh, the King of Swords. This is a man of determination. He is going forward. He is going to conquer. He is going to succeed. Nobody is going to stand in his way. He'll step on toes, he'll burn bridges, he'll do what he must in order to conquer and put his flag upon that hill. That's the kind of energy that'll be coursing through you. Now you got to back it up, right? Because you just don't want to burn your bridges, right? Of course not. But how do you step? How do you avoid the landmines along the way to cross the bridge? To get to the next step, to the goal, to the dream, to the desire. It's not always an easy path, is it? Many times we feel like we're spinning our wheels. Most times. So we get this determination, we get this strong sense of drive. It makes us a little too spontaneous, okay? And so this is very much the energy we will be feeling. We will feel like we want to just jump into it, get a little careless, get a little reckless, see what happens. And that's not the energy that we have to do. We have to remember the moderation in order to really stay strong in this energy, because we have to listen to the moon arguing with Jupiter. We have to listen to the moon agreeing with Pluto and Pluto agreeing with the moon. We know our primal warrior is coming out. We know we're seeking abundance. But how we do it affects our inner happiness, our inner joy. We can do a lot of things and have a lot of great accomplishments. Many people do, and yet they don't feel any greater about themselves. And it limits them in every sense of true abundance, of happiness, of joy. And when you have a passion, when you have a joy, it brings out who you are. I don't know who that was for. Look at this, 5 Pentacles, and you ain't feeling it. You are feeling deflated, like you have been spinning your wheels, like nothing is gaining traction, although it is. And when you look back, you will understand it. It might be 5 years from now. It might be 6 months from now. It might be tomorrow. You just all of a sudden. But chances are we're in this for the long term. And yes, we get tired and we feel defeated and we feel like we've given it our all. And why isn't this taking off? And I've tried to make time for this, and I've tried to make space for that. And I've tried to have the energy to fulfill this. But I'm spinning my wheels and it's not happening and it's not clicking. And so back it up. Back it up. Get up, stretch, walk around. Take your mind off the problem. Go and enjoy yourself. Go and enjoy life a little bit, because when you stand up and you stretch and you turn around, you're going to see the door of abundance. It was so very close the whole time, and it found you when you stopped looking. When you didn't put all your focus on, okay, what is it? What's it going to be? Because this isn't working. You're going to turn around and you're going to understand that it was working all along. And the next step is going to take courage, and it's going to take strength. We're going to have to step up to that door. We're going to have to open that door. We're going to have to walk through. And we know that once we walk through that door, we can't turn back in some way. So we also have to understand that there's certain things that we do need to leave behind that maybe we have grown fond of in our life. It's been our routine. It makes us feel comfortable. Got the 9 of Cups right in the middle, your wish card. What are you wishing for? What are you hoping for? Do you define it? Do you have a definition for it? Have you given it much thought? Are you saying, oh, life is so busy, I'm just trying to keep afloat and doing what I'm doing and be a good person along the way? Because I don't have time for all that. You do have time for 5 minutes a day to take some time for yourself. You take the most successful people in this world. And I assure you that 99.9% of them take a certain portion of their day to just focus on them, their goals, their dreams, their desires. And maybe they do that during their morning jog, or they're cycling or swimming. Maybe they're meditating. Maybe they're just getting to the office 2 hours before everybody else to go over the day planner and strategize about the day. And so it'd be perfect execution, whatever it is. Think about. Take 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Set an alarm. 5 minutes. Okay, brain, I got 5 minutes to talk to you about my future. This is what I'd like to see. And maybe nothing happens. And maybe a week later nothing happens. But you give it time. And you will start to tap into that sage wisdom. That strong intuition. You'll hear that whisper in your ear. So what now are you going to wish for? Definitely a very strong card, because it's right in the middle. It's the focus, the central focus, the central attention needs to be on your dream going forward, what you truly want to create, what you want to manifest, where you want to have successes in life. The 4 of Swords. 4 of Swords says it's okay to rest and heal and recuperate. Life has been tough. It's fast. It's furious. There's obligations. There's responsibilities. There's things we'd like to do, and we just have to move it back. And it's time to rest and recuperate. This is really a card about health and well-being and minding your health and well-being. I know if this card is the first card in your reading that you are in need of a doctor. But that's not the case here. When I'm doing a certain layout, not all the time, but when I'm doing a certain layout, it's definitely when this card comes up first. I know right there and then that you need to restore, you need to recuperate, you need to let go of the stress, let go of the anxiety, release it from your body. A full moon, any kind of I hate to say ritual or ceremony, because that, derives a whole different sense of just cleansing. Get out the sage. Smudge yourself, smudge your room, smudge your environment. Get rid of the toxins in your air. And there's scientific proof that there is bad smoke and good smoke, and sage is good smoke. It suffocates bacteria and kills bacteria that are airborne. So, yes, our great, great, great ancestors did know a lot more than we do today because we're just finding this out. This is about letting go of the stress, taking 5 minutes a day just to breathe, just to let go of the stress, just to let it out. I won't do that deep breath because I think I scared some of you, and one of you were holding a knife, so I won't scare you. And do that deep breath of you just breathe. And play a little game with it. Everything that comes in your mind, just say thanks for showing up. We'll talk about you later, and just go back to your breathing. And start to understand what is showing up over and over consistently, because that is something that is dragging you down, wasting your energy, anchoring you to a place where you don't need to be. The Five of Cups, this is the woe is me. So there's going to be a lot of negative energy. We have a lot of pull down kind of energy. We have the Five of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, the Five of Cups, all pulling us down. This one we are seeing the losses, the failures, rather than the experiences that can happen in your life, the things that you can step into. If you have a faith, if you have a belief, if you raise your confidence, if you know that you are worthy and deserving. So that is why we have been working so hard in order to find that out about ourselves. And this is a lot more of the same, but I think with that, what was it, Algol star, I think we can get deep into our subconsciouses. We can heal from something that maybe we couldn't have healed through at different times. There's that one really black rock. Oh, name. One of you knows. Put it in there. Anyways, tourmaline. I think that's it. To ground you. So if you gotta let that rock, put it in your pocket or something, walk around with it, or keep it by your nightstand. This is about seeing our loss, seeing our failures, seeing our disappointments a lot clearer than we're seeing what can be in our lives. So there's a lot of pull down kind of energy, which will make us want to push through that. But with the Taurus energy, we want to be safe. We want to be secure. So mind your senses, and pay attention to what you're hearing. I was just listening about the disruptions in our life and how we're constantly, a day at work is buzzers going off and phones dinging and ringing and faxes going and everything makes a noise, and we get accustomed to it. There's chatter over there and there's chatter over here and somebody's answering a phone, and it just goes. People are walking by all day and there's a lot of distractions. And distractions is a whole different level of stress and anxiety that we carry with us. So if you work in that kind of environment or find yourself in that kind of environment, it's even more important that you just take 5 minutes a day just to breathe, to detox your system, to restore your body. I mean, we have the Four of Swords right here, so it's an invaluable practice that you can get into quite easily. With a little bit of self-discipline, maybe set an alarm for yourself. There you go. Set off a ding to get rid of the stress of all the dings. Okay, let's get a mantra card here. And our card is money. Find a way to abundance. So money is a vehicle, okay, first and foremost. Money can be evil, absolutely, if that's how you use it, if that's your intention behind it. But if you are using it for good, money is definitely not evil. It is a vehicle. It's a vehicle. When the bills are paid, you can breathe a little easier because you know that the light switch is always going to work. So if you were to go for the abundance of money, what purpose would you utilize that money for? And grow that dream. Grow that desire. Grow that want. Grow that passion. Grow that seed. and just see in your mind where it expands to, what it could possibly become. What do we have? We had the Magician or something in there, didn't we? Okay, we're going to go to money here. Find a way to abundance. So don't worry, you will find a solution to gain the money you require for whatever you want in your life to come in. Maybe you've suffered a misfortune. Maybe it's been unemployment or some kind of unexpected or expected financial difficulty. And know that there is always an energy around you to help you. There is always a way out. Go within. Find your internal fortitude and guiding light to persist in gaining back what you have lost. So when we're talking abundance, that could be your power that you've given away, where you've compromised yourself into a place where it's just a negative energy, and finding ways of taking your power back. Maybe you've given in once too many times within a relationship, and it's time for a little bit of tough love to come out, a little bit of honesty and truthfulness about what makes you feel happy and comfortable, what brings joy into your life. Do the best you can with what you have. Know that it'll always be enough. If you need more help, simply ask for it. Things grow better each and every day. No matter what the problem is, have faith that a solution is possible. And the mantra is, I have faith that a solution is possible. So wherever you're finding yourself of a little bit of a worry, a little bit of a tension, a little bit of stress, I'm sure most of us can name about 5 or 6 places in our lives where that is a possibility, where there is stress, there is anxiety, there is an unknowing. Know that you're protected. Ask for help. The help will arrive. And then take the help when it shows up. We'll get an animal. Of course, we will end with the Journey of Love card because it's just amazing, that deck, and how it brings the whole reading together. Okay, our animal that is appearing, look at this. Take a chance. Take a chance on who you are, on who you can, you know, take a chance on your potential, on what you know you could do if you had the time or the energy or the resources, or maybe a mixture of those energies. Money, perhaps. Take a chance, the starfish. Sea star. Freedom, chance, fear, and passion. Life itself cannot give you joy unless you really will it. Life gives you time and space, and it's up to you to fill it. It's time for you to take a chance, a leap of faith. You've been lacking in energy, perhaps motivation. It could have been out of fear. It could be that you have been caught up with a bit of laziness and have beached yourself. And it's quite scary to allow change in. Although you may even feel stuck, you're never truly stuck. You have the free will to change the course of where you want your life to go. So it's time to free yourself from the past and allow yourself to feel again. So feel. That's part of that Taurus energy. Of being present, of what does it feel like? What does it sound like? What does it taste like? You might be stuck in a dead-end job. Look for one in a different field, one that feeds your passion. You might be eyeing the cute girl at the coffee shop or looking at the cute boy who changed your oil. Ask him or her out. When you begin to take a chance on one thing, you will start to find that it is easier and easier to take a chance on yourself. As you grow your confidence and to continue doing it in every part of your life, which will only draw you closer and closer to your ultimate successes. And you just won't know. unless you take a chance. So it's taking that educated risk on yourself and yet using some moderation in it so that it works, so that you're not over, you know, throwing yourself into a careless situation or taking some risks that you didn't need to take, or not researching, or have, it's all about thinking it through. It's all about grounding yourself, because we have some very destructive energy up in the sky that is just waiting for us to trip a little bit. And all of a sudden we're going down a mountain slope. Where did the mountain come from? I just tripped on a stone. Next thing I know, I'm plummeting. So we don't want that kind of energy. We have to stay grounded. We have to stay within moderation. We have to think it through. We have to have knowledge in our decisions. But yes, we also have to make a decision. Because if we do not make a decision, we've allowed a decision to be made for us. So we need to take charge of the narrative and yet have flexibility and go with the flow on what happens in our world. Easy peasy, huh? Her Grace. Look at this card. Look at the blues. Huh. Okay, we'll get our book out. 17. That's an 8 energy, the 17. How was our daily energy? Was it not 17? 17. So making the impossible possible by realizing your potential, by having that aha moment, that epiphany, by a miracle happening in your life. Because you've been giving something positive energy, focus, attention. And maybe that's just yourself. Giving yourself the love that's needed. Her Grace, 17. I was born long before our time, and yet my time with you is something new. For you awaken in me a spirit that was longing for release, waiting for your touch. I thought I was safe to stay inside the boundaries and walls I carried with me. You touched all of me, and we walked outside the lines together. The goddess is awakening within your life. It may be within your own body, with a sensual deepening of a relationship with your own body or the body of another. Through expanding creativity, a sudden burst of feeling that you cannot logically explain, a desire to move, to dance, to express yourself, to sing, to write music, to draw, to play in nature, to swim, to collect shells, to lie on your back in the moonlight, gazing at the stars. Let her reach you. She is calling to you from ancient times, calling you to allow her more deeply into your life. Celebrate the divine feminine. She is coming into you. She is coming to life for you. Whether man or woman, your life is about to be touched by her magic. Never, ever to be the same again. This oracle brings you a message. There is a woman who brings divine blessings into your life, who is trying to connect with you more deeply. The blessings may be ones that are obvious, or one that is hidden in a challenge. The woman may be your own body if you are female, or your own inner feminine if you are male. It may be a spiritual or physical being, a great mother, your lover, a sister, dearest friend. It may be a woman as yet unknown to you, but who holds a soul contract with you, an agreement predestined to awaken you. The empowerment will come to you not by rejecting what is offered by this feminine presence, but by embracing it, finding your truth through it. This is exciting because it means you are growing. You are entering into the temples of wisdom and finding a home within. So, it's about getting your focus, knowing that you are on that path forward, believing in yourself, loving yourself, And once you can love yourself unconditionally, the rest of the planet's a breeze. So get to know yourself. Put your eye on the prize. Believe in your dreams, believe in your potential, and then get to work. Roll up your sleeves. And put your focus on what needs to leave your life in order to take the steps that you can see, but that you have a realization of now, an understanding, a clarity. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.